football. It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, this is the official Frank Martin versus Artem Harutyunyan post-fight review, and the result of the fight is a Frank Martin close but unanimous decision. Now, let me start out by saying this. Let me tip my cap to both of the competitors, both the fighters, because they both fought their ass off. Frank Martin was dangerous for all 12 rounds. Artem grinded it out the whole fight, and just overall, like, the fight was very interesting from a tactical standpoint because you had Frank Martin, who, you know, I don't think Frank Martin's an A-level fighter in terms of his skills, but what Frank Martin lacks with skills, he makes up for with his athleticism and his explosiveness as a fighter, right? On the other side, you had Artem, who had a 250-plus fight amateur career, captured the bronze medal at the 2016 Olympics, but relatively unknown coming into the fight. You know, he's an Armenian fighter based in Germany, had 12 fights against mostly nondescript German opposition, but was ranked in the WBC rankings, which is how he got the fight in the first place. So, very interesting fighters with very interesting backgrounds. And early in the fight, Frank Martin was very, very patient. Like many Derrick James fighters, he had that basic foundation, as they say. And he pretty much, like, his game plan, from what I could see for the first, like, 3 to 4 rounds, it just seemed to be, like, about keeping a nice, tight, high guard, not abandoning his defensive responsibility, and to let Artem bring the fight to him and make a mistake and counterpunch and sharpshoot that straight left hand in between the shots. And he did that in spots the first 4 rounds, but probably not as much as he wanted. And the thing is, while he was doing all that, you had Artem, who was very crafty. He was able to dig that right hand in many different ways, whether it be the straight right hand to the body, the uppercut to the body, and he did a great job landing a lot of body shots. And I think that what this did was it took more gas out of Frank Martin that he may have liked in the early rounds, and he had to actually manage his stamina more, in the middle rounds for the duration of the fight, because Artem Harutyunyan, he was a guy that was consistent every round. He didn't throw a ton of jabs, but he threw enough jabs to set up the right hand. And he landed enough right hands to keep Frank Martin honest. So, like, I remember going into, like, the championship rounds, the last 3 rounds, Frank Martin, really, I was worried about him getting this fight, if he was going to win this fight, because the reality is, I think he gave a lot of rounds away, and he was very inconsistent throwing punches. Defensively, he was great. I thought Frank Martin was great defensively because there was a lot of punches coming at him, and he was picking a lot of them off, and he was very defensively sound. So I give him credit for that. But he had one round in the 6th round where he basically, like, it was an assault. He looked like he hit Artem Harutyunyan with everything but the kitchen sink, and the guy wouldn't go anywhere. He showed great durability. But going into the last 3 rounds, Frank Martin really needed to close the fight strong. And to his credit, he did that. He beat the living dog shit out of Artem Harutyunyan. And he closed his, his left eye? I think it was his left eye shut. I mean, it was giving me flashbacks of when Earl Spence fought Kell Brook. And it got to the point where Artem couldn't see out of his eye. And Artem had to take a knee. And Artem damn near got stopped. You know, and he was lucky to make it to the final bell. So he took the knee. Frank won a decision. One judge scored at 114-113. So that knee actually would have got him a draw. If he didn't take the knee, he would have had a draw on one of the judges' scorecards. And the other 2 was 115-112. So Frank Martin wins a fight where he didn't necessarily make a statement. Like, he didn't send shockwaves to the lightweight division. But it's a fight that I think was needed for his career. And I think he'll get better from this fight. I think now, you look at Frank Martin and what could be next for him. I'm hoping, if PBC, if Al Haymon, whatever, listen, I'll like to see Frank Martin fight Cruz. I feel like Cruz and Frank Martin would be one of the most exciting fights in boxing because Cruz is a shorter fighter, volume puncher. He's got the Mexican style. They call him the Mexican Mike Tyson. You put that in there with someone like Frank Martin, an athletic, explosive beast like Frank Martin, I think you get a great explosive night of boxing. And then the winner of that fight, I think, could go ahead to fight Gervonta Davis, which is obviously what both guys are both angling towards. They want to fight Gervonta Davis. By the way, welcome home, Tank. Tank's out of jail now, so that's good. But yeah, that's what I want to see for Frank Martin. But great fight from him. As far as Artem, man, his stock really shot through the roof tonight. Artem, none of us really knew who he was, but he had this calm, cool demeanor about him. He had this confidence about him, this self-assuredness about him that really made me kind of raise my eyebrows and say, why is this guy so confident? And then when I saw him fight and I watched some highlights of him, I saw why he was so confident. And I remember like an hour before the fight, before I went on live for the live fight reaction, and by the way, thank you to all you guys out there that joined us, me and Pops, for the live. About an hour before the fight, I did some homework on the guy, and I finally started watching some highlights, and I said, I told my dad, I said, yo, Frank Martin's going to be in a real fight tonight, and I was right because he brought the fight. So I hope they bring him back. I hope PBC will bring him back. Maybe put him in a nice little crossroads fight with Raul Valenzuela. That'd be a great fight. Raul's coming off of a loss to Chris Colbert. Artem's coming off of a loss to Frank Martin. Something's got to give. I like fights like that. But either way, you cut it up, slice it, and dice it. This guy has shown the warrior spirit. His stock has went up, and who knows? Had it not been for that knockdown, he probably would have a more legitimate case to have won this fight, because they had a poll about on Twitter of who won the fight, and 40% of people that voted on that poll thought he won the fight. And that was with him taking the knee. So imagine how many more people thought he would have won if he didn't take the knee. So good fight from Frank Martin. Just got to start a little bit earlier in the fight. But, he pulled it out, and he showed me, he actually showed me something tonight, because these high-risk, low-reward opponents are the hardest guys to defeat, because you don't, when a fighter goes to the media rounds and he's doing interviews, he's not getting asked any questions about the guy he actually has to fight, and he's getting asked questions about all the guys he's not fighting. And then the guy, you don't know a whole lot about him because there's just not a lot out there on him, and he's really good. So it's like, he got that, he passed that test. So now it's time for the next test, and hopefully that's Cruz. But let me know what you guys think down below. Who do you want to see Frank Martin fight next? What do you think about the fight? And is there anybody out there that thought Artem actually won the fight? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. We're here at the Hatanaka Boxing Gym in Nagoya, Japan. And for more great videos just like this one, make sure you guys click right here.